Today, I'm going to be showing you the complete 2026 strategy for generating consistent leads and clients using YouTube ads. I'm going to be walking you through everything I've learned after spending over $7.7 million of my own money on YouTube ads, not to count millions and millions more in ad spend for our clients. Now, these are the strategies that I've used to help thousands of businesses successfully implement YouTube ads, many of which you may recognize here on the screen. All of these are companies that we've supported with YouTube ads to grow and scale their business. And I've also used these same strategies to grow my own business as well. Landing number 60 on the Inc. 5000 list of the fastest growing companies in America. Was on the Inc. list 3 years in a row with 6,052% growth. And that came from YouTube ads. Yes, the ads that you see here on YouTube, these ads can be incredibly powerful when you know how to leverage them the correct way. Because let's face it, on other platforms like Facebook, TikTok, LinkedIn, people are just mindlessly scrolling. They're scrolling, and you have to interrupt them to get your ad in front of them. Whereas on YouTube, you can reach people at the perfect time when they have intent. But here's the thing, there is a major new strategy here in 2026 with YouTube ads called demand gen. And I'm going to be breaking down exactly how this strategy works because demand gen is a new type of YouTube and Google ad that came out about a year ago, but it is getting incredible results for us and our clients. And I'm going to walk you through exactly how this works and how you can implement this directly into your business. So let's dive in and let's start off with a little bit of a primer about how YouTube ads have changed here in 2026, because it's not just the standard YouTube ads that you are familiar with. Of course, you've probably seen these in-stream ads. These are what a lot of people think about when they think of YouTube ads. So the ads that appear in front of another video on YouTube, they pop up. There's a 5-second countdown timer before people can skip the ad. However, there's other types of YouTube ads as well, not just these in-stream ads, but there's also other types, including in-feed ads. These are ads that appear in search results as suggested videos alongside other videos on YouTube. If you've ever seen a video pop up as a suggested video, sometimes those are actually ads as well. Now, there's of course also YouTube short ads. As more and more people are scrolling on shorts, you can get in front of people with short ads. And YouTube and Google have even added ads into Discover and Gmail so that you can start seeing these ads practically everywhere. But ultimately, what this is all about is learning how to turn YouTube ads into clients. And that's what I'm going to be talking about today, because YouTube ads have evolved in 2026. There is a whole new landscape with YouTube ads. And the most important thing is that Google has injected their AI directly into YouTube ads. Now, I'm based here in Austin, Texas. You can see I'm a little bit behind me. You can see kind of the skyline back there. And one of the days I was out and I got in one of these Waymo cars. Now, what you may not know is that Waymos are actually owned by Google. These are self-driving cars that completely drive themselves. And here's the crazy part. As I was sitting in the back of the car, I actually filmed a YouTube ad. It was kind of funny. And I filmed the ad. And in the ad, I said, what does this self-driving car have to do with YouTube ads? Well, they're both powered by Google's AI. You see, Google created and owns Waymo, and they've powered these self-driving cars with AI. But what they've also done is they've injected AI into YouTube ads as well. And you can now use AI to target and reach your ideal clients. And so if AI can drive a car and Google can create an AI that can drive a car, do you think they can create an AI that can help you reach more of your ideal clients? Well, absolutely. And by the way, that ad was actually a very successful YouTube ad that I ran, but it's actually very true because there is so much power to leverage YouTube ads and Google's AI. They've injected into these ads. And what I want to be showing you today is actually breaking down step by step exactly how this works. Now, I know this is leading up to it. This is a little bit of a primer, but we're going to be diving in deep into exactly how this works step by step, because what we have found is artificial intelligence unlocks a whole new paradigm for YouTube. I see this as one of the biggest opportunities that you have to be on the cutting edge of AI advertising. And that is exactly why you're here. And my promise to you today in this YouTube video is I want to over deliver. And I want to help you avoid getting left behind, because AI and YouTube and advertising is moving quickly. You're probably noticing this yourself. And what I want to do is show you how you can actually embrace it. So we're going to talk about AI ad targeting. We're going to talk a little bit about AI viral ad hooks. So you may be seeing more ads that have AI at the beginning of them. We're going to be talking about the entire 2026 YouTube ad strategy and what we call our alpha AI YouTube ad strategy to help train the AI to reach more of your ideal clients. And that way, your YouTube ads stand out from the crowd and ultimately allow you to achieve your goals. And I want this to be the most valuable YouTube video that you watch all year because I know this might sound complicated, but my promise to you is to make it simple. And also at the end, I'm going to give you my 19-page 2026 YouTube ad strategy PDF that you're going to be able to implement yourself. It's got a full action checklist, step by step. That way, you can follow along with this video, but also take a look at that checklist as well. By the way, I'll put that down in the top of the description so you can go to that link at any time. Now, this is backed by hundreds of millions of dollars in client revenue that we've generated for our clients with YouTube ads. Here's just a snapshot of what's possible. I know a lot of people that follow me are looking for leads or looking for clients. So just imagine your email inbox getting flooded with new people booking calls with you or your team and filling out applications. This is just one day on my sales team's calendar. You can see multiple sales team members' calendars completely stacked. And this is done using the power of YouTube ads. Again, we've helped thousands of businesses, many of which you probably recognize here on the screen. All these are clients of ours or have been clients in the past. And we've also use these same strategies ourselves. I'm a big believer in practicing what you preach. I've spent over $7.7 million on YouTube ads. That's a big part of how we were able to scale ad outreach to over 8 figures, land number 60 on the Inc. 5000 list, and be able to have the success that we have today. Now, a little bit about myself, and then we're going to be diving deep into it. I'm Aleric Heck. I'm the founder and CEO of AdOutreach. I'm based here in Austin, Texas. You can see a little bit of Austin behind me here. I've got my kind of studio set up and everything. But my background and how I got into YouTube ads is I didn't become a YouTube ads expert overnight like some of these other people you see online and on YouTube. I've actually been on YouTube for 16 years. I started out actually back in 2009 doing app reviews, tech tutorials on a YouTube channel called AppFind. There's actually a picture of my college dorm room. You can see my bed alongside here where I was filming videos teaching people how to use their iPhone for the first time and doing the latest app reviews and tech tutorials. I grew a channel AppFind to over 500,000 subscribers. I got millions of views on these videos, and I saw firsthand the power of leveraging YouTube to grow and scale a business. And also how if you provide value, people would want to learn more. And so ultimately I ended up having all of these mobile apps start to sponsor my YouTube channel, and they would reach out. They say, hey, can we pay you to do a video? I do a video, they get a bunch of downloads. But one day, one of those apps said, how can I get more people to see the video featuring my app? And that's when I said, you know what? What about YouTube ads? This was about a decade ago now, back in 2015, the early days of YouTube ads. And I ended up running my first ad campaign, and it was an incredible success for that client. They were blown away by the results, just a few $100s. We got thousands of users for their mobile app. And so they ended up calling me up, and they had another app that I promoted. So there's a couple other apps in the meantime, but then they called me up and they say, hey, Alric, we want you to drop out of college, fly out to Silicon Valley and join our team. I ended up turning it down, because I think that like a lot of people watching, I wanted to build this myself. I had such a great vision for that. And that's where I created AdOutreach. And that's what brings us today. We've been in business over 9 years. We've helped thousands of businesses. We've scaled a lot. I've also published a book, Video Authority, The Art and Science of Converting Viewers into Clients. So literally wrote the book on the subject. This took many years to be able to do around the power of video marketing and YouTube ads. I've spoken on stages all over the world to thousands and thousands of people, teaching them video marketing and YouTube ad strategies. But this is not about me. It is about you and showing you how you can get that sweet, sweet YouTube treasure I know you're looking for. So we're going to dive in. I want to show you how to get that YouTube treasure. I'm going to show you exactly how this works step by step, how to script a winning YouTube ad. We're going to talk a little bit about AI as well, which is really interesting. Also, how you can target your ads in front of the right people at the right time. And we'll be breaking all of this down. So we're going to dive into the targeting section a little bit later on in the video. First, we have to talk about how to write an irresistible YouTube ad script. You see, one of the biggest mistakes that entrepreneurs and marketers make when creating YouTube ads is providing no real value in the ad. Think about it. You don't want to receive an empty box from Amazon. And why do people tune out so many advertisements? So the reason they tune out a lot of advertisements is because there's no value in the ad. But what if you flip that on its head? What if you could actually provide real value inside of the ad itself? Because you see, people are on YouTube for one of two reasons. They're either there to be entertained or they're there to learn. And we want to tap into those people that are on YouTube to learn and create an ad that appeals to them when they're in what we call the learner's mindset. They are looking to learn on YouTube, and we can create an ad that's going to appeal perfectly to them. Now, we call this the value ad, a video ad that provides genuine value and incites action. Now, there are three main components of this value ad. The first is the hook that draws in your ideal client. There's the educate section where you're providing real, genuine value. And this is the thing a lot of people miss out on or don't have in their ads. We're going to talk more about that in just a second. And finally, you have the call to action to get people to take action from your ad. So it's hook, educate, call to action. Now, the first piece with the hook, this is where you are capturing attention and you're priming the viewer for the rest of your value ad. I want you to think about your viewer kind of like this goldfish here. I know it's kind of a funny example, but think about your viewer kind of like this goldfish. Goldfish notoriously have a 6-second attention span. Well, your ideal client only has about 5 seconds before they can skip the ad. So you want to create an ad that appeals to them, captures their interest, and gets them to actually watch the video instead of skipping it. So it's really important to think about it in this way. So once you've done your hook and you've captured their attention, the next step is to actually provide real, genuine value. This is the educate section. And this is the biggest thing that people leave out from their ads. A lot of ads these days, they are kind of short and people are wondering, why are these ads not converting? Well, on YouTube, it's a different platform than Facebook and Instagram and TikTok. On YouTube, people are there to learn. And if you can create an ad that actually educates them and gives what we call golden nuggets, provides real value for 1 to 2 minutes inside of the ad, you are going to build the know, like, and trust factor of the people watching your ads. And it is going to convert so much better. It's small, but incredibly valuable. And finally, the third component is the call to action, a simple way for the viewer to take action and opt into the rest of your funnel. We recommend a video conversion training. So it's kind of like our version of a VSL. It's like a cross between a YouTube video and a VSL. Actually, if you're wondering what that is, this is a great example of this. This is, our example of a video conversion training. It provides value, it educates, and at the end, it usually leads people to book a call. So the overall process is hook, educate, call to action. You draw in and capture the attention of your ideal clients. You provide genuine value, and then you have a clear and concise call to action. Usually these ads, we like to see around 2 to 3 minutes long. You have about a 15 to 30 second hook. You have a 1 to 2 minute educate section and about a 30-second call to action to get them into the rest of your funnel. Now, one of the biggest misconceptions people have is that you need fancy equipment or skills in order to create these types of ads. Well, here's the thing. We've actually found that fancy equipment can take away from your message because it feels less authentic. Instead, you want to be seen as an authentic authority, be seen as that expert on video. In fact, that's actually a big component of my book, Video Authority, is how you could be that authentic expert. That's the key. And that's what you're going to be able to do inside of your ad. You can even use an iPhone and a gimbal to record your ad as well and make a video that feels professional, but it's not overly polished and it doesn't require a lot of extra work, studios, things like that. We've actually found those ads work quite well. Now, I know what you're probably thinking. All right, Aleric, this is easy for you to say. Maybe you're feeling not as confident on camera and you don't really know about filming a YouTube ad. It feels more comfortable maybe doing image ads or other ads. But here's the thing. I was actually in your spot too. I know it's kind of crazy because I've been on YouTube for 16 years and I started out with my YouTube channel. But back then, I wasn't actually on screen. My face wasn't on screen. I was doing tech tutorials. I was showing, you could see my hands, see the tech that I was doing, but I was actually self-conscious in front of the camera and I wasn't really in front of the camera. And about 8 years ago, it was time for me to record one of my first YouTube ads for myself. I was doing it for some clients. I had my YouTube channel, but I hadn't actually been in front of the camera. And I remember recording this ad and it followed all the same principles I had taught our other clients, but I almost didn't publish it. And the reason is because I felt self-conscious with how I looked. I was about 50 pounds heavier than I am today. I just watched it back and my heart sank. I almost didn't publish it, but I am so glad that I did because this video, this ad right here was the first ad to make me over $1 million in my business. And the lesson that I learned from that is it doesn't matter who you are, what you look like, what you sound like, what your background is. All that matters is that you're authentic and you be yourself. And that's what's going to allow you to create an ad that ultimately converts on YouTube. That is the key. And you have it inside of you to be able to do that. All right. So we've talked about how to craft the winning YouTube ad. The next step is talking about how to actually target that ad in front of the right people at the right time. So we're going to start with some of the basics and walk you through this. And then we're going to dive into some of the more advanced strategies. So in terms of the overall targeting, of course, you can target based on location, so entire countries, but you could also get more granular, like state, city, or even a mile radius around a street address. So just depends on whether you're targeting more nationally or more locally, but you can do that with your YouTube ads. Now, you can also do device targeting. By the way, this is one of the first pro tips that I'm going to share because you can target computers, mobile phones, tablets, TV screens, and more people are watching YouTube on their TV screen. However, even with the connected TV, we found that conversions aren't as high. If somebody's watching the TV to get them to actually opt in right away, it's not as high. And so generally we recommend turning off TV screens, which by the way, if you do that, that can actually give you, 5 to 10% plus lift on your conversions, which every bit counts. So there you go. That's one of our first little golden nuggets here from this video. Now, in addition to this, you're also going to be able to do demographics and income targeting. Now, there's gender, age, parental status. That's really all going to depend on who your ideal client is, what your offer is, who you're targeting. But the one I want to draw your attention to is household income. Now, this is pretty remarkable because other ad platforms like Meta and TikTok and other platforms like that don't actually allow you to target based on household income. So you're running Facebook ads, you could get any kind of lead. There's a lot of low quality leads that you're getting. It's kind of like a roller coaster with that quality. Well, on YouTube, you can actually target people that are in a higher income bracket. So we found this is incredibly valuable, especially if you have a higher ticket service, coaching, consulting, high ticket product, whatever it happens to be, you're going to be able to target people that can actually afford your services, your coaching, consulting course, whatever it ends up being. So I'd recommend looking at the top household income. Usually we'll go top 30% or even top 10% if we have a higher ticket item there. Now, audience targeting is where you can actually choose exactly who your ideal audience is and make sure you're reaching the right people at the right time with these ads. Now, there are three main types of audiences. There's Google's pre-made audiences that Google's already created for you and crafted for you. There's leveraging your own data. So people go on your website, people watch your YouTube channel, and there's also custom audiences. Now, custom audiences is where we get into that alpha AI targeting strategy. That is one of the best ways to be able to grow and scale with YouTube ads. But we're going to get to that in a second. First, we got to start with some of Google's main audience targeting types, which are Google's pre-made audiences. So let's break down what we see here inside of these pre-made audiences. So there's 4 types of pre-made audiences that YouTube and Google has. There's in-market audience segments. These are people who are in the market for what it is that you're doing, for your products, your services, your coaching, consulting. There's affinity segments. This is what people are interested in. So a little bit different than in the market. This is more that they're interested in a specific topic. Life events are things that are happening in that person's life. And then detailed demographics gets a little bit more granular about that person and details about that. Now, when it comes to in-market audience segments, there's a wide variety. You can see we're kind of scrolling through here. You could target people who are in the market for gifts and occasions, in the market for marketing and advertising, in the market for real estate, in the market for software. So there's a lot of different options here. Just using an example, let's say you are a fitness coach or you've got a gym or you're a personal trainer. You can target people who are in the market for fitness services, fitness programs, personal fitness programs, or workout videos. And you can use this to reach the people that you know are likely to be your ideal clients. Now, affinity segments are more broader audiences. Now, generally, I don't really recommend using these for direct response. This is better for kind of building a list or, getting people generally interested because these are bigger, broader audiences. People interested in travel, mobile enthusiasts, social media enthusiasts, business, right? So there's all these different affinity segments that you can target. This is more of somebody being interested in something. So as an example, let's say you're looking to sell a course or a training on stocks or options or things along those lines, or you've got a newsletter related to this. You could target people who are avid investors into banking and finance and business professionals, and that's a way that you could reach those types of people. Now, there's also life events. So people who have started a business, graduated from college, or renovating their home, or moving, got a new pet. There's a lot of opportunities with life events. If you have a particular product or service that's going to be able to reach people at a specific time in their life, this is a great one for you. There's just not as many of these options. Now, a good example is we had a financial planner that specialized in late stage financial planning. So he could actually go and reach out to people and run ads to people that were retiring soon. And then in his ad, he'd talk about how you need your plan in place before you retire. And so he could get in front of people that way. And then there's also detailed demographics. So you could target parents of kids of a certain age, marital status, employment, home ownership status. So another example here is one of our clients, an SAT prep services company. We help them target parents of teens 13 to 17, who are the real decision makers for something like an SAT prep services. So again, there's a lot of different options. Now, you can also leverage your own data. This is where things get interesting because you can leverage your own data as well. And so you can actually go in and target people who are visiting your website, people who are using a mobile app, YouTube users, and even uploading your own customer list, although you do have to be a verified advertiser to be able to do that. So there's some spend requirements. But if you have a YouTube channel, you are sitting on a gold mine. This is one of the things I love to tell people, because if you've got a YouTube channel, there are so many opportunities to be able to reach people, because what you can do is you can actually go in and target people that are subscribed to your YouTube channel, people that are watching your YouTube channel, and actually get in front of them with your ads. This is incredibly powerful. So you can take people that are watching your videos, liking your videos, subscribing to your channel, and retarget them with an ad. So if you've got a successful YouTube channel already, you have a massive opportunity to leverage this to get back in front of those people. That said, you do not need to have an established YouTube channel to see success with ads. Many of our clients, they start off with a channel with 0 subscribers, no videos, and then they start running ads, and you don't need to have a strong organic presence to run ads. But if you do already have one, then it can just amplify everything. So there's some big opportunities there. All right, now we're going to talk about custom audiences. This is what we alluded to earlier, where you can actually build your own audiences to target on YouTube. And this is something that you can't do with Facebook ads and other platforms. You can actually go and build your own audiences based on all of the data that Google and YouTube has collected. So we call this our alpha AI targeting strategy. And this is really the secret behind hundreds of millions of dollars in revenue for our clients. Now, where did the term alpha AI strategy come from? Well, we didn't just pull it out of a hat. It comes from the term seeking alpha. If you're familiar with the stock market, maybe you've heard this term before. It's people are seeking a return that is better than the baseline, right? So you have your baseline beta returns, and then you have alpha optimized returns, returns that are exponential and actually better. And so in the world of Wall Street, when they're looking for alpha returns, they have a profession, they have quants whose entire job it is to train an algorithm on the best way to trade stocks. Even Ray Dalio credits a lot of his success to a combination of a human strategy and a algorithmic strategy. And so what if you could do the same thing with YouTube ads? What if you could train Google and YouTube's AI on exactly who your ideal clients are so you can reach the right people at the right time? Well, that is the secret to our highly successful campaigns, is to achieve alpha results by training the AI. And so that's what I want to show you how to do, is you can actually train Google's AI to achieve better results by actually building what are called custom audiences. So let's take a look at what this actually looks like. So this is an audience segment builder inside of Google. What we can do is we can target people that have specific interest and purchase intent. And these are our own keywords. These are not pre-built audiences. If you're used to like Facebook, they have only their pre-built audiences. What you could do here is type any keyword you want. So for instance, if you are, that fitness coach or weight loss coach example, you can target people that have these interests: weight loss, losing weight loss programs, fitness coaching, nutrition coach. You can target people that have that interest and that purchase intent. It's really powerful to be able to do that. You could target all of these people that have that interest. And so what YouTube and Google is doing is they're using their AI and all the data that they've collected on people to actually target people who have those interests. Now, we can go deeper as well, because you can target people who have Google and YouTube searches. So if they've searched for any of these terms on Google or YouTube, you can target people. Again, you can use any keyword here. So let's use that financial advisor example. If somebody's searching for how to save for retirement or retirement planning or best way to invest money or how to invest money, you can target people that have recently done these searches either on Google or YouTube with your YouTube ads, which is incredibly powerful. Now, Google is the largest search engine, but YouTube is actually the second largest search engine. And you can target people that have searched on either of these with these custom intent audiences. These work incredibly, incredibly well. Now, you can also target people based on app audiences, apps that they happen to have installed on their phone. And there's even the ability to target competitor websites. So imagine being able to target people that are going to your competitors' websites with your own ads. This is incredibly powerful. I call it ethically hijacking your competitors' traffic, but it's actually true with something called a URL audience segment. Not a lot of people know about this, but it is incredibly powerful and is some of our best campaigns. We can target people that go to specific websites or similar websites to any site we can type in. So for instance, using that weight loss example, we could target people going to weightwatchers.com, noom.com, jennycraig.com. We can target all of these, and then you can get in front of them with your own ad. Imagine any of your competitors' websites and URLs, you could put those in here and target people that are going to those sites or similar sites. This is incredibly powerful. Now, you can also do this for complementary tools and sites. So for instance, I am not necessarily a competitor with any of these sites, but I know if people are using a funnel building platform or a course hosting platform or webinar platform, then they might be interested in YouTube ads. And so what I can do is I can actually run my ad in front of people that are going to these sites, because it's like, hey, if you're building a funnel or you're building a webinar, well, you might be interested in using YouTube ads to grow and get more people into your funnel or into your webinar. So I can actually target complementary sites as well. So there's so many possibilities with these URL affinity audiences, which is just so powerful. Now, I asked myself the question, what if I could create my own AI algorithm to identify and build the best audience segments? Because of course, AI is getting more and more prevalent. And that's why I have an AI ad targeting software for YouTube and Google ads called keywordsearch.com, where people can go, they can put in the URL of their website, and it can find different audience interests related to Google and YouTube search terms. And then people can just choose which terms that they want, and then in one click, sync them over to Google Ads. So this is an AI ad targeting software that kind of powers what we help our clients with, and actually allows us to sync these audiences directly over to Google. And so there's so many possibilities with AI on the targeting side, but also on the content side as well. Because another thing that's new in 2026 is the ability to use AI ad hooks. Now, this is really exciting. What we are seeing is right now, 6 of our top 10 YouTube ads have an AI ad hook at the beginning of them. So it's not just me speaking to the camera right at the beginning, it's actually an animated AI hook. And there's different versions. I'm going to show you some examples in a second. But I'm also going to give you a caution here, because there's a wrong way to do this and there's a right way to do this. But basically, this is a AI generated video at the beginning of your ad that captures attention, pulls people in, and then gets them to watch the rest of your ad and then take action. So making your ads convert higher with Google VO3 and viral AI video ad hooks. So we're using Google VO3. There's also Sora as well, but there's different ways to do this. But what we're finding is this is working incredibly well right now with our ads. So now let me play this video and show you exactly what this looks like.
Give me 5 minutes, and I'll show you how you can use AI video ads to create a marketing flywheel.
If your business feels like it's on a marketing roller coaster, give me 5 minutes, and I'll show you how you can use video ads to create a marketing flywheel. If you're not using AI in your advertising, you're practically living in medieval times.
If you're looking to skyrocket the leads and sales in your business, give me 5 minutes, and I'll show you how you can use video ads to create a marketing flywheel. Breaking news. You can now use Google VO3 to create AI-generated videos just like this one. I declare that AI videos are the future, and that you should subscribe to this channel.
So that is just a taste at what is possible with these AI ad hooks. Now, here's where I'll caution you, because we tested AI ads versus non-AI ads and something called hybrid AI ads. And here's what we found. So 100% AI generated ads, where it was all just AI back to back for the entire ad, was the worst performer. You can see here 100% AI generated ad, the worst performer. Now, the next best, the control, The average was a traditional ad, no AI at all, talking heads, speaking to the camera, hook, educate, call to action. But what we found is actually working the best is a hybrid AI ad, where it's about an 8-second hook at the beginning, like you just saw, and then it cuts to me speaking as a person. That's what's getting the highest performance right now. And here's why I think that is. Because this hybrid hook has the best of both, right? By having an 8-second AI hook at the beginning, it captures attention. You can split test a bunch of them. But then the problem with AI is it doesn't build trust. So AI can capture attention. It's great on the front end, but it doesn't build trust on the back end. So actually having you speaking to the camera builds trust and gets people to click and convert and become a client. Now, that said, if you just have AI only, you're not building trust. If you just have the video only, traditional video, no AI, you might not be able to capture as many people. So this is the best of both worlds. So what we found is that you can actually have this 8-second hook at the beginning, a visually appealing hook, just like we showed you earlier. Then it goes into your proven ad content. So you speaking directly to the camera, the educate, and then the call to action, getting people to take action from there. And of course, there's all kinds of different ways to animate this. We've done all kinds of different versions, like I showed you earlier, me as a superhero as well. So there's a lot of opportunity to get creative here. So it's not just fun, it actually is working quite well. When you go and get our PDF resource, we've got some additional resources we'll email you as well when it comes to creating AI ad hooks. This is something that's more on the cutting edge, so we're working really closely with our clients on it, but this is something I had to mention in this 2026 guide. So again, we get that PDF down below. You're gonna get a lot of different resources related to this. Now, this is all designed to make your YouTube ads stand out from the crowd. A lot of people ask me, all right, Aleric, what about YouTube ads versus Facebook ads? And I already kind of talked a little bit about that earlier on, but here's the truth, right? On Facebook, people are mindlessly scrolling. We've all done it, right? We're mindlessly scrolling. Now, I'm not saying Facebook ads don't work. They do work. They can work. That said, the problem is they're often a roller coaster effect. The quality isn't as good. People get shut down all the time. And even when you have great ads, it feels like they're impossible to scale. Right now, YouTube ads are getting incredible results for our clients. And it's not just because it's easier to scale, you can get higher quality leads, household income targeting, but it's also because they're higher intent. Ads are all about reaching the right person at the right time with the right message, and that's what you can do on YouTube. And the key is at the right time. So not just target the right person with all the targeting options we talked about, and not just the right ad itself, that's the message, reaching the right person at the right time with the right message. And that's what drives conversion when people have intent, when they're searching on YouTube, when they're watching videos on YouTube, reaching people at the perfect moment. That is the key. You can get in front of them at that time and convert them with your YouTube ad. And that is the power of YouTube. Now, let's just give you a little bit of a reminder of who we're dealing with here, because people wonder, okay, well, how is it possible that the AI can really help you reach all these people? Now, Google, of course, owns YouTube, but they also have Google Chrome, one of the most popular browsers that's collecting so much data. They've got Google Search, most popular search engine. They've got YouTube, the second most popular search engine, right? And where people go for videos, the #1 video streaming platform. And people are going on YouTube all the time, watching content. And YouTube's tracking all that data, how long people watch, what they click, what they're doing, and all of that is being trained in the AI. Now, not to mention Gmail. There's a reason Gmail is free, right? It costs billions of dollars for Google to have Gmail be free, but they're collecting a lot of data that they can use to target. And then here's one that not a lot of people know about. Google Analytics is installed on 52.6% of all websites online. That means more than half of every website has Google Analytics installed. So they're tracking all of that data. Some people ask me, how does the URL affinity audience work? How does Google know? Well, people either start their search with Google Search, or the website has Google Analytics installed, or they're clicking a link, or they're watching a video on YouTube. There's so many possibilities. And by the way, Google Analytics is up here at 52.6% of all websites. I bet you can guess what is down here at only 11.1%. Yes, it is Facebook ads. Is that scientific proof YouTube ads are 5 times better than Facebook ads? Well, I'll let you be the judge of that. But jokes aside, there are so many amazing things you can do using the power of YouTube ads, especially here in 2026 with AI, both on the content side and on the ad targeting side. And we are just seeing such incredible results with YouTube ads, leveraging the power of AI, reaching the right people at the right time, using our alpha AI targeting strategy. And now I put together my entire 2026 YouTube ad strategy inside of this free PDF. You can click the link at the top of the description, go to adoutreach.com/gift, or scan this QR code to get instant access. We also have an additional training on the back of that as well, some other resources that you're going to love. But all you got to do is scan this QR code. And if you're interested in having our team actually help implement the YouTube ad strategies directly into your business, we're also going to put a link down below to book a call with our team, fill out an application. We'll see if it's a good fit for us to help you implement and install these YouTube ad strategies directly into your business. We have different ways to work with different clients depending on what you need, including the ability to help set this up and then train your team or yourself on how these ads work so you can have it as an internal capability. So all those links are going to be down there below. Make sure you grab the 19-page PDF. You are not going to want to miss it. It's going to walk you through step by step exactly how all of this works. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you found this valuable, make sure you subscribe, turn on notifications so you never miss a video, and let me know if you have any comments down below. I'm going to be personally reading and responding to comments, so I want to make sure that you know exactly how to implement this 2026 YouTube ad strategy. And I'm looking forward to seeing you get incredible results with YouTube ads in 2026. Thanks for watching.